Hello, and welcome to Marketplace, brought to you by Art of Skin Care, the company that brings out the beauty in you. Also, our new sponsor, Kowisa Lodge, situated in the heart of Mabalingwe Nature Reserve. I am Charles Ngobeni. On Marketplace, we aim to empower, encourage, and equip you with the right tools that you need to move closer to you achieving your entrepreneurial dreams. Each week, we bring you insights from experts in different fields of business, men and women of faith, and ordinary people from all walks of life. We again meet someone whose expertise will greatly influence the way you run your business and how you interact with both your customer and suppliers in a manner that is guaranteed to add value to your business. She has a wealth of experience in the areas of credit disputes and consumer protection, which are her passion. She has worked for several notable institutions before she resumed her current position as an acting ombudsman at the Office of the Consumer Goods and Services Ombud. You will not like to miss this continuation of an episode. We all have got complaints, we all have got problems, but sometimes we don't even know where to go. And here with me on the studio, I have got a notable woman who can assist you. Magauta, welcome once more to Marketplace with Charles.
Thank you, Charles, and hello to the viewers.
Viewers out there, stay tuned. You wouldn't like to miss anything. At the end of the show, we'll also highlight how you can win a holiday away from home with Kowisa Lodge. You may also want to stay tuned to see if you're not a winner or if you are a winner of our last episode. That holiday is a holiday of a lifetime. Magauta.
Yes, Charles.
You explained a bit about yourself last week.
Mm-hmm.
Do you mind, for the sake of those viewers who missed the show, who you are?
Like I said, Magauta is a businesswoman,
Yes.
a mother, a daughter, and the current acting ombudsman at the Consumer Goods and Services Ombud. She is passionate about consumer protection, and because she was part of actually drafting the National Credit Act and the Consumer Protection Act and taking it to Parliament. So I am implementing something that I was involved in giving birth to, and that is quite interesting.
You have been acting for too long. Who's your boss? I need to speak to him. Oh, hey.
Yeah, no, it will end soon. They will soon advertise the position.
Why should they advertise it?
They have to, because the law requires a particular process to be followed.
Take them to ombudsman.
I will.
Last week we discussed about some categories of complaints.
Yes.
We spoke about 6 of them.
Yes.
Do you want to quickly review them?
I did say that the main complaints that we receive relate to goods and services being defective before the 6 months warranty period has expired. The second category is obviously goods that do become defective after the warranty. Because even after the warranty, when you go take it back for repairs, there's another 3 months warranty on the repair, not on the good that is given. We do receive complaints in relation to that. We receive complaints in relation to the cancellation of contracts, especially in relation to the penalties that suppliers do and are allowed to charge if you cancel the contract before the expiry of the 2 years, which is the main time frame within which people are allowed to do contracts. The issue is whether the penalties that they are charging are reasonable according to the Act. The other complaints that we receive relate to services. Bad service, where, for example, goods are not delivered on time, goods that the consumer ordered and specified are not delivered okay? And then also we receive complaints in relation to just bad treatment. You know, last week you gave an example that if you are wearing shorts, somebody does not take you seriously. And we expect suppliers that are serious about service not to discriminate on the basis of what you are wearing or what you look like. A customer should be a customer and should be treated fairly. So we do receive complaints in relation to unfair treatment.
CGSO. What does it stand for? What is it, and what does it do?
Okay, maybe I should explain the framework within the Consumer Protection Act when it comes to dealing with complaints. In terms of the Consumer Protection Act, we have the National Consumer Commission, which is the regulator of the industry. And then we have what they call alternative dispute resolution entities, which are mainly ombudsmen. And then in terms of the Consumer Protection Act, as an alternative to approaching the National Consumer Commission, you can approach an accredited ombud. The Minister of Trade and Industry has approved a code of conduct and the ombud structure itself to say, in the consumer goods and services industry, all the suppliers, the manufacturers, the retailers must subscribe to this code and must subscribe to the ombud, so that the consumer has the ability that if you go to a store and you lodge a complaint and the two of you do not agree, we are the next level to take that complaint. So you first have to go to the supplier. Even if you come to us and you haven't gone to the supplier, we will refer the complaint to the supplier and they have 15 business days to resolve that case. If not, then we will intervene. So we don't have powers to make rulings. We try and facilitate an amicable resolution between the consumer and the supplier. If we fail to resolve that complaint amicably, it then gets escalated to the regulator, where they then do a formal investigation, and the outcome can be very negative for the supplier because there are fines and penalties involved if they do find that you were not compliant with the Consumer Protection Act.
Does that mean that a supplier of goods has to be registered with CSGO?
Yes, they have to be registered with us if they perform the goods and services that are covered by the Consumer Protection Act. So if you are running a business, it doesn't matter what size you are. You have to be registered with us if you qualify. And then you have to pay, because this is an organization that is funded by the industry. So you do have to pay a registration fee, and then we will register you, and then your consumers. But it doesn't mean that we don't deal with complaints where the supplier is not registered. We will still deal with that complaint, but we will inform the regulator that this supplier is supposed to be registered with us, but they are not. Then it's possible that you can be investigated because not complying with our code and not registering with us is a contravention of the Consumer Protection Act.
So every supplier has to be registered?
Every supplier who offers goods and services that are covered by the Consumer Protection Act. So, for example, your insurance companies don't have to register with us because there is another ombud that deals with it. So where there is another ombud that deals with that issue, for example, in the consumer protection space, we have 2 ombuds that have been registered by the Department of Trade and Industry. It's the Motor Industry Ombudsman that deals with all motor-related issues and defects. They go there. So most of your dealerships would not be registered with us, would be registered with the Motor Industry Ombudsman. Your insurers would be registered with the short-term or long-term insurance ombudsman. But generally, your big retail shops and service providers are registered with us and have to.
And what sort of amount are we looking at for registration?
It depends on your size. So there are categories. You're very small, below 1 million turnover, they pay about 3,000 rand. It's not a lot of money. But if it's a large company earning in the billions, there are those that pay 250,000, others pay 150,000, depending on their category, which is an annual fee, once-off annual fee.
And if someone wants to register their company, where do they go?
They can send us an email, either myself or we do have somebody in the office, our general manager for corporate services, Ms. Queen Munyai, who deals with applications for registration. And even if they just want to inquire, to say, do I need to register? Does my service fall within the ambit of the Consumer Protection Act? We do give that advice to say, yes, you have to, or no, you don't have to. You can go to that Ombud or the other. So we do give them advice in terms of the registration process.
And I suppose CGSO is government-owned. Am I correct?
It's government approved,
Yes.
but not owned by government.
Okay.
We are accountable to government because we are created in terms of a statute, a creature of statute, but we are not owned by government.
So you don't get salary from the government?
No.
Okay. Now I understand.
Yes.
But then, before the break, we spoke about the fees,
Yes.
registration fees.
Yes.
Why do we have to pay the fees?
Because the thinking of government is that industry has to take responsibility for some of the problems that they create. Because if a consumer complains, it means business, you as a business, has done something wrong. So government has said, we are giving you an opportunity to self-regulate. Okay, to resolve the dispute between yourself and the consumer. Because when it comes to a government entity, the consequences are serious because your ability to trade is at danger. Let me give you an example. And we had a recent example. It was with the motor industry ombudsman. The supplier refused to cooperate with the ombudsman because the government is saying, cooperate with each other. Resolve these things between yourself. We don't want to know. Obviously, we do report to the NCC and to the Department of Trade and Industry about the complaints, where they come from, and so on. If you don't resolve the matter here, it goes to the regulator. The regulator investigates your organization. That investigation, if they find that you are not complying with the Consumer Protection Act, they will then take it to the National Consumer Tribunal. The tribunal is like a court. The tribunal has the power to deregister companies that have to register. For example, under the National Credit Act, you cannot give credit without being registered. If you don't comply, you get deregistered by the National Consumer Tribunal. If they can't deregister you, sometimes they will levy a fine. They can fine you 10% of annual turnover. Can you imagine? That can close down your business.
Yes.
You understand? So they are saying, we are giving you an opportunity because these are complaints that emanate from your conduct and your behavior. So we are putting in place an Ombud scheme where you can contribute to that process so that the complaints can be dealt with very quickly. And it's a well-known world phenomenon where ombuds exist per industry. That's why you pay for it, because it's a service to you. If a company had to take a matter, or a consumer took a company to court instead of coming to us, when you come to us, besides the amount that you paid, there's no fee to resolve the actual dispute. If you had to pay lawyers to go to court to fight with consumers, it would even be more expensive for you as a business. So the Ombud does assist you to resolve your disputes without the serious consequences of going to the regulator. It's cheaper. And what we also do to add value for the amount that you are paying, we also advise you on how to make sure that your business is compliant. Because if your business is not compliant, you are losing customers. If you have a complaining customer, will you go back to that store?
No. No.
You understand? You want to retain your customers. And that is why we try and have an amicable dispute resolution process instead of the formal one where you go and you are fined 10% of your annual turnover, you are deregistered, your name is in the papers, that you are being investigated by the regulator. As a business, you will die. So in my view, this Ombud process assists businesses on their own together with the Ombud to work together to improve themselves, to deal with the disputes, and to make sure that they are compliant businesses and sustainable.
We're talking about the companies here. What about the individuals who own businesses? Do they also have to register?
Remember, to run a business in South Africa, you don't have to be registered.
Okay.
But being not registered does not mean that you don't have to comply with the laws. So the Consumer Protection Act says it applies to transaction where in the ordinary course of business. So if you're a once-off, you sell a tablet today to somebody, once-off, okay. You are not a business. But if it's a regular thing that you do, you are considered a business and you will be covered by the consumer. So we cover the informal and the formal. But usually the informal, because they are very small, they don't have to pay anything to belong. But if we receive a complaint against somebody who sells something there at the corner, we will have jurisdiction to deal with the matter.
Would you see many suppliers, especially on a television, with cases of bad customer services? What do you think causes this?
Well, what we see is that some companies don't understand the importance of complaints. They see complaints as an irritation. But we usually say the big guys, the ones that are successful, take complaints seriously. That is why after even they give you a service, they will send you a survey to say, were you happy? Because for a business to be sustainable, you have to keep your customers happy. They have to come back. They have to tell the next person that, Charles Ngobeni's skincare product is very good. His service, when you order, he delivers. If he promised he'll deliver within 30 days, he delivers within 30 days. If he's delayed, he will call you to say, ma'am, sorry, we said we'll deliver tomorrow, but there's a bus strike today. We won't be able to deliver your product. So it's about communication. It's about customer retention. It's also about improving your products and your services. When I complain, I'm giving you feedback. For me, it's positive feedback to say there's something wrong with your product or something wrong with your service. Please fix it. The big companies that are sustainable understand the value of that feedback, whether it comes in form of a compliment or a complaint. It is still positive feedback for your business. Even me as a businesswoman, when I get back to the office and my guy said, no, somebody called and complained, we don't say, why are they complaining? I say, okay, what was the issue? Why are they complaining? What is it that we did not do right in our process and in our product? If you want to grow, if you want to make money, you have to retain your customers.
You know what you're reminding me? You spoke of skincare. Somebody ordered skincare.
Yes.
And I did not deliver. And I forgot to apologize. Do you mind to give me time to go and apologize?
You have to go and apologize.
Viewers out there, just give me a minute. I'll be back shortly. I need to go and apologize. See you later.
Join Marketplace with Charles, 11-day tour of the Holy Land. Take the route Israel traveled from Egypt to the Promised Land. Cross over the Red Sea and float on the Dead Sea, the lowest point on earth with healing properties. Experience the vibe of Jericho and cruise on the Sea of Galilee to Capernaum, the hometown of Jesus. Visit the pools of Bethesda, Nazareth, Bethlehem, and many more. Walk where Jesus walked and see the Bible come alive. Return via Egyptian pyramids of Giza and explore the rich history of the mother of civilization, of beautiful memories and an rich spirit is what you're looking for, then join us in taking Jesus to the marketplace through Israel and Egypt. For more information, call +27 11 804 7550 or email israel@artofskincare.co.za.
Welcome back to Marketplace with Charles. I am back with you now. I've just apologized to my customers. But on top of that, I've just posted my book, Unlocking the Success Code. You know, there were some people that ordered those books, and I even forgot to post them. I posted them. The break helped.
Yeah, you know, that person that you didn't apologize to, do you know how many other people they will tell?
A lot.
They will tell a lot of people that that is a bad business. You must never buy that book. They see you advertising that book. They say, no, that one. He doesn't deliver. He will run away with your money. And that affects your success. It locks it up because as a business, you then have a reputation of not delivering on your promises.
But what's unfair is that if you do not deliver, one person goes and tells 100 people.
Yes.
But if you deliver,
they want.
One person goes and tells only their spouse.
But that is why it's so important that when you have complaints, you need to resolve them. You need to do it quickly and sincerely so that this person can tell people that I did have a complaint, but they resolved it quickly and they come back and they buy, they come back and use your service.
You know, in my business, when a person complains, we don't only say sorry.
Yes.
We don't only apologize sincerely.
Yes.
We also try and find out the root cause and how we can mitigate that in future.
Yes.
In such a way that I don't want to see a similar problem of the same nature in my business.
Yes.
If there's any problem, any complaint, it must be a different complaint altogether.
Yes. But you do have companies, and most of them die because they don't take complaints seriously. They see them as an irritation. They see complying with the law. Whether you like it or not, any business in South Africa is regulated. You have to comply with the law.
You know, as we wrap out this show, Magauta, do you mind to tell us what you feel necessary for our viewers, especially those who are engaged in any form of business, to know in terms of compliance to legislation and any other issue that we may not have covered in this episode?
I think it's very important. Any business, whether any product or service that you are providing, you first need to find out what laws apply to that product or service. And then you must comply with those. If you are not able to do it in your own, seek help. Seek assistance from someone who will make sure that you are compliant. Because if the regulators come and investigate you and they find that you are not compliant, then you will be in trouble. The other thing that is important is what we've been talking about. For your business to be sustainable, to make money, you have to treat your customers right. So it's not only about the law. You have to go beyond the law. The law gives you direction, gives you a structure. But like you said, if some other entities, if you complain, they will give you a voucher, they will do something to say, we are sorry, this should not have happened. And that gives you also competitive advantage. Imagine if all companies were dealing with complaints in the same way. I go next door because I go next door when I complain, I know I'll get a 10 Rand voucher. I'll go back to them. So you also need to have an edge over your competitor. Do something different. Go a bit of extra mile for your customers to make them feel good, to make them feel well. And we are not saying customers are right all the time. Even where they are not right, you need to be able to explain to them why you are taking the kind of decision that you are taking, that they understand. It's about how you communicate. Know consumer rights, know your rights as a business. Make sure that your business operates lawfully. Make sure you have the right people, because sometimes the people that you have are not trained. They don't know. They don't keep up to date. And then they end up doing the wrong things. So make sure you have the right people with the right attitude and with the right knowledge so that they can treat your customers well.
Oh, that's great. You know what I do in my business? I always try to add value
Yes.
to my customers.
That's what I'm talking about.
You know, if you come to me for services and goods, I don't only give you what you're coming there for.
Yes.
I do my level best to give you the best I can offer.
Beyond expectations.
If I had a church of my own, I think it will fly. Because you come to church for prayer, you come to church for healing, but over and above, I'll probably give you a chocolate for every person who attends the church service.
But that's about, yes.
And most probably you wouldn't like to miss a church service for the chocolate.
Yeah.
You know. So we need to strive and add value, especially that there's competition out there. You are not the only supplier.
Yes, and that's what I'm talking about. You are not the only supplier. There are other people out there. And if you don't have your basics right, then you will die. And that's what I see with a lot of companies. You know, you can mislead 10 people today, but tomorrow you'll make once off money. And it will be over, you know. But to be a sustainable business, you have to do the right things.
I'll be honest with you. I've got a lot of cars. I don't buy my spares in Polokwane, for an example, to take back to Guyana. Simply because there's no competition in Polokwane when it comes to spare shops. I buy them here in Joburg.
Yes.
I go to one Toyota dealer. If they don't add value,
next door,
if they don't give me discounts, which is my right, I go next door and buy.
Yes.
There's competition around here.
Yeah.
And that's why even my cars, I don't buy cars which the garage is only found in Johannesburg. I buy a car which I can find a garage in almost every town of the country.
Yes.
So that when I'm stuck, I'm able to get spares quicker and I can negotiate. And if they don't want to give me discount, I go next door.
Yeah.
But on that note, Magauta, if someone wants to get hold of you,
Yes.
say they want to register, they've got a problem and all that, what should they do? Well, how do they get hold of Magauta, or how do they get hold of your office?
Okay, I said the best way to contact us is through our website, www.cgso.org.za. And there, all the other contact details like telephone numbers, emails will be there.
And I am Charles Ngobeni, signing off on Marketplace with Charles. You can get hold of me on charlesngobeni.com or on Instagram, Charles_Ngobeni. If you want to win a holiday out for a weekend, a holiday for two, go into my Facebook page, like me, Charles Ngobeni, and you'll stand a chance to win a holiday out. You'll never regret you have liked me. God bless you. See you next time, same station, same time.